Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my dad's story at Kei-ai. My dad was a resident at Sakura ICF, but in May 2020, due to circumstances beyond my family's control, he needed to be moved to another facility. We were concerned about the COVID cases at Kei-ai, but were assured that he and the staff that care for him will not have contact with the COVID residents. We didn't have a choice but to move him there because there are no other facilities that can care for him in Japanese. We wanted him to be able to enjoy Japanese food and culture to live out his twilight years. When I moved Dad to Kei-ai, I was only allowed to enter the lobby. Only staff and residents were allowed to go beyond the lobby. They assured me that they would help Dad get settled into his room. I understand the safety of the residents and the staff are top priority under these challenging times, but no one outside the facility now is able to check on the well-being of the residents. Friday, December 4, 10 a.m., I received a call from a staff member telling me that Dad tested positive for COVID, and he was going to be moved to the COVID floor. She was providing me with his new room number on the COVID floor. This is the conversation that I had with the caller. How did my dad catch COVID? Oh, there was a night nurse in his section that just tested positive. How's he doing? Does he have any symptoms? No. Has anyone else in his area tested positive? No. Are you absolutely sure he has it? Well, no, his lab test came back inconclusive. What do you mean? Then how can you move him when you're not sure if he has it? Well, we'll test him again. Don't move him until you're absolutely sure. Okay, we'll give you a call back. 3 hours later, they called to tell me the quick test was negative. They were going to move him to an area with sick patients when he didn't even have COVID. They agreed to take another test to be sent out to the lab. In the meantime, they would keep him quarantined and under observation. I asked to speak with Tanner Mitchell, who's the administrator here, but was transferred to his voicemail. To this day, this is December, to this day, he has not personally returned my call and left it up to his assistant. 3 days later, they called to tell me that his second lab test was negative. A week after the first call at 11:30 p.m., I was woken up by a phone call telling me that Dad's most recent test was positive. I asked, why am I getting this call so late? Then they told me, well, they've been busy calling other family members of residents that tested positive. So he wasn't the only one that tested positive in this round. This time they wouldn't move Dad from his room. I called the following morning to see how he's doing, and the staff told me he was asymptomatic and fine. So I asked, can I speak to Dad? And was told, oh, he's in the day room eating his breakfast. What? I was dumbfounded. Dad's not in isolation. If he's out in the day room eating breakfast, he's wandering the halls and infecting whoever else that doesn't have COVID. This told me there's no safety protocol within Kei-ai if he's walking the halls and eating breakfast. No safety for residents, no safety for staff. The precautions they are taking are subpar and they are being negligent. My family was blessed that Dad was asymptomatic and has since recovered. He's 93 years old. But what about the 96 residents that have died from COVID due to the negligence from Kei-ai? From my observations, I believe the residents and staff were not provided the proper protection from COVID. No one should be admitted into Kei-ai with this horrible track record. This facility has one of the worst death rates in the state of California. It's almost a death sentence if sent here. Our immediate concern is all our loved ones. They have lived lives of hardship, some put in concentration camps during World War II, They had built the foundation of what this community is today. At the very least, they deserve to have the proper care and attention they need, but to live out the rest of their lives stress-free in both comfort and happiness. Supervisor Solis and Senator Durazo, you have always been supportive of the underdog. We family members have not had any opportunity to see what kind of living conditions our loved ones have been subjected to in Kei-Ai. With the excuse of, we're following COVID regulations. Kei-Ai does not provide any transparency to us. You have the power to get the county and state's Department of Health to slow down the COVID death rates at senior living facilities, but especially here at Kei-LA and Kei South Bay. Please make Pacifica, the owner of this facility, accountable for the deaths of nearly 100 loved ones. Don't allow Pacifica to evict the residents at Sakura ICF who have 0 COVID cases and transfer them to this death trap. Thank you everyone for listening to my family story today.
Remember the social distance. Remember the social distance.